All right, let's turn our attention back to this week. Speak to the aforementioned Maycee Barber, who is kind enough to join us, and we appreciate that very much. And most importantly, very happy to see that she is hopefully doing a lot better than this past weekend. Thank you for joining us, Maycee. First things first, most important, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Uh, I'm all right. I'm not feeling the best. Um, I'm a little discouraged, a little sad, and just, frustrated just because, the outcome this weekend. Um, Not what I wanted to happen, but we're here. I am alive, so that's good.
Most important, very, very happy to hear that. Can we start at the beginning, wherever the beginning is? When did you start to feel like something was wrong?
Um, I'm not quite sure. Obviously I was in the back warming up. Um, And obviously, people also are asking about the weight cut just because of me missing weight, and why I missed weight and all of that. Um, Again, I'm not quite sure what went wrong, but something happened during the weight cut that the coaches were like, "Okay, and Tyler, they called it off. They didn't want me to keep cutting, um, and they felt that if I kept cutting, I was going to end up in the hospital." And then during the warm up, the rehydration was fine. Everything was great. I felt good on fight day. And then um, I was warming up. And to be honest, that's really all that I remember is warming up. And then I remember being in the back of a ambulance. And that's really all that I remember. But I do know that one thing I do know is that I've cut the same amount of weight before. I've done everything the exact same as this week. So I'm not really sure what happened or what's going on. But Hunter and Dr. Davidson and all the doctors of the UFC, and they're trying to get me the best doctors and the best care. And they're going to be sending me out of state to go and get more exams, go and get more tests, see a neurologist, I had an MRI this morning. And so we're just trying to figure out what happened and what exactly uh, had gone on Saturday.
As of right now, do you know what happened? Like, do you have any idea what your body went through?
No, obviously I know that Hunter told Erin that, or Erin had said in an interview that I had had a seizure. But to be honest, we don't know if it was a seizure. We don't know that it is that because there was no doctors necessarily in the room. Um, I've seen videos of what happened. I've seen everything, and doctors have seen videos, and they're not saying, "Oh, it was 100% that." They're just trying to figure out what it was. And so I've done CT scans, I've done MRIs, I've done multiple tests already. And we're going to be sending me to um, some further doctors to get more testing.
Have you ever suffered from a seizure of any kind before in the past?
No.
Never.
No,
Okay.
no, I don't have any history of anything. And that's why it's so weird. And that's why they're like, that's not what it was. That's not what we're thinking it is. I was told that, it looked like a pseudo seizure, whatever that is. Um, but we're not quite sure. We don't have any answers yet, but um, we're working on them right now.
Do you think what happened on Friday leading to, missing weight had anything to do with what happened on Saturday? Do you think the two were related?
Um, I think the two are related. But the other thing that I do know is that it wasn't the cut. Like it wasn't the water, it wasn't the bath, it wasn't the sauna, because I've done it all before. I've done the exact same process. I've worked with Tyler for years and years, and we've never encountered something like this. So I think that it's what made the cut challenging. And now we're trying to get to the bottom of it because again, like that can't happen. One, I can't be missing weight from something like that, and also I cannot have an outcome with a fight like that. Like I can't be uh trying to walk out for a fight and not make it there. I mean, for me, I mean, it was really upsetting. The fact that one, I know that when I agree to do a job, that's my job. It's my passion. It's something I love to do, and I had every intention of being there. And then also, it doesn't look good on the UFC, and it doesn't look good for Erin. So, um, to me, it was just really upsetting and frustrating, because I had every intention of being there, and I always I want to fight. It's my dream. My dream to hold that belt. And so, what happened was really really discouraging.
In to the best of my knowledge, I don't recall you missing weight. Have you ever missed weight before in your career?
I've missed weight one time in my entire career of fighting,
That was
and that
pre
was when I
UFC, right?
fought. Yeah, that was pre UFC.
Yeah.
It was when I had a lot of issues going on with a stalker and with some other personal life issues. Um, and that was also at 115. I've never missed weight at 125. I've never even been close to missing weight at 125, which is why I'm like, it doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense.
Did you consider, after what happened on Friday, not fighting at that point? Did anyone tell you, hey, maybe we shouldn't go through with this?
No, I mean, no one was really worried. I mean, obviously they pulled it before anything got dangerous. I mean, that's why they made that decision. They were like, look, you can either keep cutting, and I wanted to keep cutting, but they had made that decision of like, look, your health comes first. So, if you want to fight, we're gonna call it. And so they called it. And that's where I was like, I rehydrated, everything was fine. Uh, and then Saturday happened. I mean, that was not we didn't consider like, hey, we should pull out, hey, we should do this, because I mean, nothing was wrong at that point. It was just, we don't think that we should keep cutting.
The reason I asked that, and obviously this is from afar, and it's obviously impossible to know, but as you know, the photo of you on the scale, it was a little bit scary. It did not look like yourself. You do not look like you look now, obviously, and so I wasn't sure just how bad it was.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I cut the exact same amount of weight. I did everything. I've been working on this for a while with Tyler, and we've done the exact same thing that we've done the last however many fights I've had in the UFC. It's not anything different than what we've done in the past. And for whatever reason, my body just didn't work that the way it should have worked. Um, I mean, it's not an excuse, and I don't think that it played that big of a factor. But I did have my period on the same time, so I don't know if it was an additional stressor on my body. But again, it's not an excuse, and I fully expected to make weight. But I believe that we would have made it if we had decided to push even harder. But I don't think that we should have risked that at my health. But
Sure.
obviously, again, here we are.
Yeah. Could I ask, and obviously totally understand if you don't want to go into this, but you said you saw some footage of what happened. Could you tell us like what you're seeing when you see these videos?
Yeah, I don't really want to discuss that right now. I don't think that it's a good idea.
Okay.
And again, it hasn't been diagnosed as anything yet, so I'm gonna keep it
I
private.
understand. In the aftermath, when you're looking at the stuff, and she was, yeah, in real time having to process all of this as well, and so I feel for her to a degree as well. You're about to fight, and it all kind of comes
Mhm.
undone. But referring to you as unprofessional, and then saying that you have to get your life in order, like this is a little bit of adding insult to injury, if you will, because you're going through a lot in the moment. As you're seeing this, as I said before you came on, someone pulling out of a fight due to a medical issue, I don't think is unprofessional. If you just would have said like, "Hey, I don't feel like fighting today," that to me is unprofessional. But this seems like it's something completely out of control for you. So how are you reacting to that as you're seeing this? I saw the post on Instagram and you referenced it a little bit, but in the state that you were in, how are you reacting to these quotes?
Yeah, I mean, a couple different reactions. I mean, for one, I mean, I don't think Erin's been through anything really difficult. I mean, I can't say that 100%, but uh, I mean, she's young. I mean, we're both young, but I think that I've had a lot of life thrown at me. I think I've been through a lot of things, injuries, sickness. health issues, losses, wins. Like I've had a lot of experience within the UFC and just within life, and I think that that is a maturity that I've been able to accomplish. And I'm not quite sure that she has the same maturity. And for her to go out and say that also, I mean, there's a lot of emotions. She's getting ready to walk out. There's probably some nerves there. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, you're not walking out. And I'm sure that she was upset, but I mean, the reality is she walked away with a show, a win, and a percentage of the purse, and I walked away with a bunch of health issues and nothing. So um, I think that she did just fine, and I mean, she could turn around and fight next week if she wanted to. Um, and I'm over here like I'm going to be working on this for a while, and I know that the UFC is behind me and they're doing everything they can to help me get through this and to help me get back to where I need to be. But I mean, for her to say that I'm unprofessional and I need to get my life in order, yes, I need to get my health in order, because I've given everything to the sport because I'm a professional. I have given everything I have inside my body to this life and to being the best I can possibly be. And you know what? It's not always easy. And I wish the best on her career and I wish the best on her health and her life. But I wouldn't wish this on anybody. It's frustrating, it's challenging, and I think that she should learn to have a little bit of um, compassion and understanding because um, you never know when something is going to happen in your life. And so I wish her nothing but the best, but I think that's very immature of her.
At some point down the line, do you feel like this fight has to happen? She has said she's not interested, but given the history now, do you feel like this is a fight that has to happen?
I think that there is the history. I think that we're building this where there's going to be a lot of there's things she said, there's things I've said, and I think that that's what builds fights. And I think that I think it's a perfect fight. Um, and it might be a cursed one, like it might be one of those fights where it may never happen, but if I ever get the chance to, I promise you that I will beat Erin Blanchfield and I will finish her and I will hurt her.
I saw a post from your coach, Cody Donovan, who said that you were begging to fight. And you may not even remember this given the state that you're in. But I'm wondering if any of that, we talked about it when you were on the show last week about her saying that you don't show up and all that stuff. Was this playing in your mind saying like, I don't want to feed into this or I don't want her to say that she was right or anything like that? Is that why you were begging to fight?
Um, I mean, a lot of it is really blurry. I mean, I don't doubt that I was sitting there begging them to let me fight because I mean, at the root of it all and deep in my heart, I mean, that's what I was born to do. That's what I was created to do, and that's what I love to do. And so, I do believe that I was sitting there begging them to let me just walk out. But I also know that I trust them with my life. I trust all the coaches and I trust the commission and the doctors. I mean, I have to trust them, and they know what's best. And they weren't going to let me walk out. And yeah, I wanted to fight, and I don't know if it was necessarily because of like what she had said or anything, but I think what it really was is at the end of the day, I mean, I represent the UFC and I want to do the best that I possibly can. And for me to get to that point and not be able to show up, I think that at the root of it all is that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to go out there and show up and be the professional that I am, and be the fighter that I am, and put on a show for everyone. And you know, that I think that was mainly how I was feeling because I remember in the back of the ambulance, I was like, I just need to talk to Hunter. I just need to talk to Dana. I just need to tell them that like this is like I just felt like I had let everybody down.
Definitely didn't do that, and I'm certain they didn't express that or make you feel that way after speaking to them. I know I'm asking you a lot of questions, and I'm going to let you go in a moment. And a lot of these questions you can't answer, but we obviously talked about the health issues from last year. Do you think there's any relationship between the ones that you were dealing with last year, the scary hospital visit, and this, or is it too early to say?
I think it's too early to say. I've been asking the same questions, like, is it related? Is it because I mean we never got any answers,
Yeah.
from the hospital. And I think that to me, I think that that just shows like me how like shows me and a lot of people how much we can all understand that like the medical system is really challenging. Like if you go to a doctor and you have something that's wrong, and then they pass you from one doctor to the next to the next to the next, and you're constantly searching for answers, and sometimes you get some, and then sometimes those answers don't go and even match up with another doctor. And so I think that right now for me it's too early to say because I don't know. I'm not a doctor, and I'm a fighter. I'm not entirely sure if it was related, if it is, if it isn't. And I think that that's why, you know, having what happened in the back on Saturday night, I think that everyone being there and seeing what was going on, I think that that was like, oh, we really need to get to the bottom of this. And um, now we're going to be able to have some doctors and some specialists that are going to all come together and really take a look at the entire picture, because as fighters, I mean, we all get sick, we all get hurt. But we are wondering, what if it is like all related, or what if it's not related? I don't know, but I think that we're going to get those answers. And as soon as we do, I will tell you.
I appreciate. So what are the next steps? What's on the horizon for you?
Well, I've already had 2 MRIs. I had another one this morning. I've had CT scans. We're waiting on all the results. From what I was told, there's going to be lab work. There's going to be more scans. They're looking at sending me to Boston to see a specialist. So sounds like I'm going to be making a trip out to Boston. And then also just kind of waiting to see what's next from there. But I'm just really thankful, the Hunter and the UFC, they've taken it into like to the maximum of, look, we're going to get answers and we're going to get to the bottom of this, and we are going to do everything that we need to do to make sure that you are healthy and we can get you back in there. So I'm just really thankful that I'm here, and that I fight for an organization that's like, no, we're not going to stop until we get you back in there, not just because you fight for us, but also just because, something that I love to do. So I'm really thankful.
Last question. We've talked a lot about your physical health. Mentally, how are you doing? How are you dealing with all of this? How are you handling it all?
It's challenging, but one thing I was thinking about I had a lot of thoughts when I was in the back of that ambulance. Um, and a lot of thoughts when I was sitting there out in the hospital before I left. And I just remember thinking, I don't have to do this. I get to do this. I get to be in this life. I get to have these opportunities. And even though it may be challenging, there's a lot of people in this world that don't even get the opportunity to wake up another day, or to walk, or to do a lot of things, And so as challenging as it is, I'm just really trying to be thankful. And it's not pretty all the time. I think I cried 15 times yesterday. Just because it is hard and it is challenging and it is frustrating to not have an answer, and to be like, oh, you're good. Oh, you're not. Oh, this is going on and that's going on. It is really, really frustrating and really challenging. But I also have faith, and I also believe that there's a plan. And that somehow it'll all come together and it all makes sense. And that, it's just another part of the story. I've been through a lot of things in my life. And so, 27 years old, I know that we are far from done. So, I'm just really trying to take it day by day and moment by moment, and just really learn to appreciate the things that I do have.
Wishing you the best, Maycee. You're a class act, and I appreciate you coming on and speaking so openly about this. Most importantly, hope you get well soon. Hope this is just a small bump in the road. It will make for a great story someday down the line when the entire story is told of your career. Be well, hang in there, stay strong, and hopefully sooner rather than later, this will all be behind you. So again, thank you so much, and good luck in the next few months as you try to get better and figure this all out.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, there she is, Maycee Barber, kind enough to join us after a very difficult a few days and probably going to be some, difficult few weeks coming up as she tries to figure this out. I can't imagine how frustrating this is for her. Remember, ranked number 5 on a 6-fight winning streak. She is 14-2. She's one of the best fighters in the women's flyweight division, and she is going to be back. And we hope that this is just a small road bump, if you will, speed bump, roadblock, speed bump. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.